What is up, everybody? It's Gather the Nerds, episode whatever. I don't even know what episode. Are we at 154?
154.
I think we're 154. We will have some extra special guests in with us today. We have one already, Earth to Church. Repeat performance from last week. Brandon is back. We're trying to decide what you will actually go by.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too.
And it may be one of those things you change it every week, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Everyone has to have a secret identity. I'm Cav, that's Nick, and Church is here. Everything is back.
Hey, guys.
At some point, how many episodes is it going to take for me to actually point in the right direction by default? Like,
well, I think that's going to be dependent upon the fact that we're in the same position every time.
That's true. It's a good point. I guess that depends on who joins in what order. So yeah, it's Hannah will be here. She's running a little bit late. She got stuck in internet traffic. We will also have another special guest joining us later, and also we'll wait for Hannah to talk about it further. Tomorrow night, GTN After Dark, special guests, going to be amazing. I consider that these people are talking about my friends, but I still am going. There's going to be a level of fangirling I'm going to have to kind of keep down. Like having them together in the same yard is going to be pretty amazing. So, yes, indeed. So, Nick, I feel like we're missing the right hat compared to what's going on down below there. So,
I don't have that hat, so
we can get you one.
Yeah. So
okay.
I don't know.
I'm sure they have them on your Earth.
I don't know what hat it even
It's not
is.
on Etsy.
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, I'm clueless. Help
It's
me
a
out.
damn manly hat.
It's a what?
Someone goes out wearing
damn
this hat,
manly
you
hat.
know they ain't afraid of nothing.
I'm not, guys. I'm sorry.
That looks very funny.
I'm not cool like you guys.
I'll make
I'm
one
not hip
for
with
you,
the hat.
and I'll send it to you as a gift.
Nice.
Did your wife make yours, Church?
Yes, she did.
Nice.
It's amazing. All right, gang. So stuff we've got on the agenda today. We have this cool little scrolling thing at the bottom that's going to spoil everything. DC departing Diamond. How they're going to replace Batwoman. Tiger King, because there's really no other news in the news right now. Command and Conquer, because it's amazing. Tenet, more director's cuts. Bungie's doing a live Destiny event today, so we will end on time, if not a little bit earlier, so that can happen. And then we'll talk.
Was that on Bungie? Is that going to be on their website?
No, it's in the game. So
okay,
it's a live event like Fortnite.
So I thought the whole point of all of these Destiny updates was to stop doing you got to be there when it happens kind of thing, and then they do this.
Well, I think the whole thing. Well, I mean, yes, and they're trying to do they are trying to do more event things. They're trying to get rid of the FOMO for weapons and stuff like that. But
wouldn't that add to the FOMO? If I'm at work right now and I can't watch this live event, doesn't that cause the same problem?
Yeah, a little bit. Either way, stuff's going to explode. It's going to be great. So, all right.
So how long is the event, though?
I don't know. It could be
2
5
minutes.
It might be. There's no telling.
2 minutes.
So by the
Long
time
enough for your Xbox to get started and get logged in.
Be over.
I guess I better go ahead and log in, huh?
So, all right.
Get them loaded.
So let's talk about director's cuts, because that's what is in the news right now. We have talked, and I have talked I say briefly, maybe a little extensively, about the problems with Dark Phoenix in that particular movie. It has its issues. Simon Kinberg says he does not want a Dark Phoenix director's cut, because they were talking, you look at these movies that might have their issues, well, can there be a director's cut? Can you make it better? Simon Kinberg does not want a Dark Phoenix director's cut. He said the movie they released was ultimately my vision for the film. That vision did change over the span of making the movie. There are other scenes that we shot, just as there are a lot of other scenes in Days of Future Past that we shot and didn't end up using. these scenes were shot for that film in an ending that was quite different than the ending that was in the theatrical release. It says to release a Kinberg cut, it wouldn't be just like we spliced those scenes back in because those scenes were never completed because of visual effects and sound. It would take a whole lot of work, but I appreciate the support. So, you look at movies like there are movies that are better as director's cuts. The Daredevil director's cut, if you've never seen it, is it's light years ahead of what it is. Yeah, everything. Kingdom of Heaven, if you've ever seen Kingdom of Heaven, there's a director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven. It's excellent compared to what we got in the theaters. Nick is hydrating. He's a hydro homie. And so,
can you hear that or something?
No, you froze right as you were drinking.
Oh, that's funny. That's
the new praying hands.
Listen, the two of us have every reason to stay hydrated, given our recent experiences in the last 6 months.
It's true. Let me ask Earth 2 Church a question as he's trying to hydrate. Have you ever in the recent history had a kidney stone?
No.
Okay, you may not want to hang out with us.
That's true. That's sage advice.
Drink a lot of water.
Because Cav and I both, within about 2 weeks of each other, both had almost identical sized kidney stones.
Hannah is here.
Oh, hi.
And I believe, Cav, was yours on your left side?
I don't recall. And it's like
mine was on my left.
I already know.
Mine was on my left. Mine was on my left, and I'm pretty sure yours was too, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it sucked. So I'm definitely I drink about a gallon of water a day.
There was one too around that time.
There was longer than that between the kidney stones though, because mine hit at Halloween and yours was at my wedding. Okay. So you've got a couple months, but in between that was like Barry.
Either
like
way.
There's
Lynn was in there like right after.
Oh yeah, Lynn had one too. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Mike G had one too.
I hope you're safe on Earth 2 Church.
Yes.
They don't have those here.
I was gonna say they don't have kidney stones there.
Nice.
They don't have kidneys
here.
So we're talking about Hannah. We're talking about some people were trying to get some support for a Dark Phoenix director's cut, and the director said, "That's appreciate the support, but no thanks." I don't know. I don't know that
we don't need that.
Yeah, I don't think that we need.
Well, the Snyder's Cut makes a very dangerous kind of precedent. We see this kind of uprising, like, we can do it for everything now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fix everything.
We can make bad movies better.
Yeah.
Or make good movies bad. I don't know.
Well, that's true.
Like when you get the director's cut piece of it, like it more often than not, it does improve the quality of the movie. Like we talked about Daredevil director's cut and the Kingdom of Heaven director's cut. It's actually really good. I think
this.
I don't know that I've seen them side by side enough to know.
The director's cut has a much bigger ending.
Okay.
Huge ending. Explains a lot of stuff. Explains what they found down there, why they found it, what the creatures were, why they were taking these actions. Went into kind of an anti-war stance, but honestly, really good. Because The Abyss.
Oh, we've got comments, and I'm just not
even that they threaten Earth with. Too.
There's a director's cut of Abyss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really? I have never seen it.
Changes the ending entirely.
Interesting.
But really well thought out, I thought. It was an anti-war thing before that got super popular and everyone was doing it.
I feel like there was a director's cut of Event Horizon, but I may be wrong. I may be confusing that with The Abyss.
Event Horizon's a creepy enough movie. If they did a director's cut, I don't even know if I'd want to watch it.
I'm good. It took me a couple of years to purge Event Horizon. So I guess
I still see stuff from that movie at times. Like the High Gravity in town, local brewery place.
Yeah.
They sell stuff to do your homebrew stuff, all that. They have a dark beer, and it's called Event Horizon.
Nice. We're gonna press pause. We're gonna press pause for the first time ever. 6 people. It's the jetpack.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Jetpack. Sorry, I was trying to be funny and freeze myself, but nobody laughs.
It happens.
Speaking of the Abyss, Jetpack looks like he's sitting in it.
No, I turned my green screen into a black screen. So
Yeah.
Smart man.
Yeah.
so it just wasn't right back there.
Yeah. So we're talking about director's cuts of movies, Jetpack. Stuff that's good, stuff that's bad. Because people are talking about whether we need a director's cut of Dark Phoenix, which even the director's like, nah, no thanks. We were talking about
that's a lot of extra work for a whole bunch of people to put in.
And that's what they were talking about, like the Snyder cut, like Earth 2 Church / Brandon said, it sets a very dangerous precedent because not a lot of movies are going to get 30, 50, 80 million dollars to redo it. And so because sometimes you'll get director's cuts and it's easy to splice in new scenes and stuff like that. But when you're talking about like finishing visual effects and all that other stuff, I mean, yeah, you're talking about millions upon millions of dollars. And unless you have some huge following or
unless it did really well in the theaters.
Or a way to monetize it.
Yeah, you got to monetize it. And the whole release the Snyder cut thing kept on. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out over time. What I didn't realize, interestingly enough, speaking of Justice League, is kind of moving on to the next thing. Hey, Barry, hey, Tattoo, what's going on? Is that they offered Patty Jenkins a Justice League movie? So Patty Jenkins, who did Wonder Woman and a couple things, they had offered her a chance to do a Justice League movie. Now I had forgotten that she had left Thor: Dark World. She was the original director of Thor: Dark World, and now I wonder about if she had stayed on, would they have? Not that it's a terrible movie, but would that not be the weakest of the Thor movies? Yeah. But they had offered her a Justice League movie, and she says, "I love comics, but I come to superheroes through films. There's in me this desire to emulate compared to the movies I saw as a child. A certain spirit that reigned in those times. Is that relevant when I shoot? I don't know. The point is, unlike other directors, I don't really care about shared universes, continuity, and that kind of detail. I've been contacted to make a Justice League movie in the past. If it doesn't connect to me, it's too many characters."
Respect the honesty.
Yeah. But now you have to wonder with the success of Wonder Woman. You assume the success of Wonder Woman 1984. If DC might push a little harder to see if maybe she would do a Justice League or something like that. So,
yeah, but I think you have to honor what she doesn't want. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, her reasoning is sound, so I don't know that any money is really going to change anything.
Well, are these recent statements, or was this statements a while back on why she dropped out of Thor?
So this was a recent article, but I don't know when she was offered Justice League. And so, with Justice League, the only Justice League before this was the, I keep wanting to say Frank Miller. It's not Frank Miller. Mad Max guy, George Miller, George, whatever. That Justice League. Maybe there was one in between. I don't know. The Army Hammer Batman Justice League that never made it out. I don't know what point they were talking about doing that. I doubt that they were offering her the Zack Snyder Justice League because he was kind of in control of that universe.
If you also think of like Justice League looks very daunting, just like Endgame looks daunting. But if you look at the Russo brothers, you add on a couple of characters at a time. They started with just Captain America. So maybe in a couple of years, like if she keeps doing Wonder Woman around, that character really well. They bring in a couple others. And it might be a different perspective. You're not trying to approach the whole thing broad face.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, granted, now there are two Russo brothers.
They're incredible, yeah.
But
wait, there are two?
Yeah, Russo
brothers.
There's
not just one. Like it's not just one guy going the Russo brothers.
Sure.
Dang it!
There's the Reverend,
I didn't know that.
There's Reverend Josh with the hard eyes.
Josh Kerr
in the house. So good morning.
What if you give her kind of a spin-off Justice League movie? Something that doesn't have to tie into continuity, kind of just like a Justice League Dark.
I don't think you give her J.J. Abrams wants Dark.
He wants Dark?
Well,
he's do that as a animated movie, though.
They did, but he's producing a Justice League Dark series for HBO Max. I think it's somewhere in there. What's up, Barry? Have you beat that mission yet? We played Command and Conquer a lot yesterday. There is he's producing a Justice League Dark series that's coming out. But yeah, there is the animated movie. Was also a rated R animated film. So I don't know. Do you give her Justice League Dark? I just trying to think like.
I think you give her whatever she's willing to take on.
Is there ever
not to overload her, but whatever the biggest project she's willing to do, she's got the chops for it, she's got the work ethic, she's got the creativity. Right now, she's kind of the gun for DC.
Like she should take it if it's offered again and do her like whatever story she wants to tell, and then just have someone else go back through and be like, okay, well, this doesn't match the continuity or the comics. Like, delegate that stuff to the intern to make sure.
Directors love that.
The intern. I'll be that intern. So, but here's the thing. Now, because honestly, I don't know. Is there a subset of Justice League that is more Wonder Woman centric?
What if you
Super Friends?
What if you just did a movie instead of Justice League? It's just on the trilogy. Just the three.
Yeah, the Trinity. Yeah.
Trinity.
Trinity.
Trilogy.
Yeah. You could do the
Sam
Trinity.
says Earth 2 Justice League.
Yep, Earth 2 Justice League. So, I mean, you've got a lot of different things. And like I said, you could pretty much give her probably whatever she wants at that point. But to your point about continuity and timeline stuff, there's an interesting article that David Ayer commented on, which Jeff Johns, who is like the DC guy or was the DC guy, completely broke continuity in Suicide Squad. And I didn't even catch this. And so basically what had happened is when you're looking at all of the, when you're meeting all the people in Suicide Squad originally, and you're getting all those cool little text, like, you know, blah, 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 blah. They did this, they did that. In Harley's, it says accomplish something to the murder of Robin, something along those lines. But it showed earlier you're being attacked by a Flurk in Earth 2 Church. So you get a they had talked to reference that the reason that Joker has his grill, one of the things I have the most problem with, is because Batman punched his teeth out after he killed Robin.
This makes sense.
Which makes sense, except he already had his grill when he shows that he met Harley for the first time. And David Ayer said, Jeff Johns broke my timeline because he wanted to add that. So, you know, you look at... So even the most DC of DC people, you know, may miss that. You know, it's a... can you imagine trying to keep track of all of that if you really had to stay, like, centric, you know, or right through the comics? It would be... so... Sam says,
I think that would just be called Marvel.
Yeah, Sam says, is there a Wonder Woman-centric Justice League? We should be asking who wouldn't love a Wonder Woman-centric Justice League. I know there are stories in which she is leading the Justice League. Like, I know that happens. I just can't remember where it is.
She could just make the movie and make it so good that the comics...
She reshapes the continuity?
Yeah, the comics bend to her. Like, the MCU has kind of done that. Like, you see where then they add in all of these small little comics to, like, do the tie-ins and everything to it.
Yeah.
So.
It's not about, I mean, yeah, because you look at what, you know, Arrow and all that other stuff is so popular. They did a comic run based on the show.
Yeah.
And then they merged those characters in that, because I think, like, Diggle exists in the DC universe now, in the actual, where I don't think he did before.
Same with Felicity.
Yeah.
Smallville did it. They did comic tie-ins and considered the story later.
Yeah.
I liked Felicity in like the first season, and then after that, I was like, "Why are you even here?"
You talking about Felicity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't. One of us likes her.
Really must have happened.
Felicity forever.
Yeah.
No. Oh, Nick, you have someone else that likes her. She frozen or she just not.
Is he frozen?
Yeah, he's frozen.
Nick's frozen.
I thought I was gonna get some support.
He's my issue with Felicity. I just have issues with Felicity, but it is not a. And Church is trying to smack over there.
I
You are frozen.
But Harley was kind of the same way. Like she was started just in the cartoon animated series, and then they made her into.
Smacked him too hard. Sorry.
What she is now.
You smacked him right off the internet.
You took the spot.
That's okay. Or two, Nick will come back.
We'll get him. We'll get him over there. Let's see here.
Okay, am I good now?
You're here. Sort of.
Wow. Frustrating.
So you need that cable is what I need to make for you. You just need to tell me how long it needs to be.
I need more interwebs. That's really what I need.
Less wireless, more hardwire. So, so yeah, you're right about Harley. I mean, Harley was just this kind of side character in the animated series. You see her in I can't remember the issue number off the top of my head. In that issue became a
12?
Is it 12? I think it's 12.
I think it was 12.
Is the first Batman Adventure comic 12, which you first meet Harley, which at the time was nothing. She was in the show, okay, big deal, you know, that's kind of cool, and has now become one of the most popular, sought after comics in, you know, in modern history. Like I have a distinct memory of buying that comic for $2 because I thought it was strange because back in the day at Eastland Mall, they used to have comic book shows. And so,
they used to have card shows too.
Yes, they did. They still do, but they don't have them here. They have them.
Is the card shop? Card shop's not there anymore, is it?
No.
Okay.
I thought you were going to
Eastland
Eastland Mall, Church.
Are you talking about TDs?
TDs, man. I
think so.
TD.
Yeah.
It was right next to KB Toys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Up on the second floor there. Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic place.
And I just remember buying a couple of because I was young at the time or whatever, and I was like, I negotiated him down from like $3 or $4 to $2, and that's why I remember it, not because of the comic, is because I negotiated him down, and I think
I was like, it's a little bent on this corner. I'm thinking $2.
And I've told this story before. I'm not sure if Jetpack and Brandon know this. Like I found that comic 20 years later, like in a Foot Locker that I had of my stuff. I still have it.
Oh wow!
It's probably like a 7 if you graded it, but I still have it. So it's one of those things. Like I'm going through a bunch of stuff as I'm moving, and I open this Foot Locker and I'm flipping through all these old Batman animated comics, and you see it, and you just kind of start shaking because you know what it is. And so, yeah, it's pretty amazing. I would love a 9.8 of that. I would not love to pay for a 9.8 of that. But
Jetpack, what are you drinking there?
What was that?
What are you drinking there?
Oh, it's just a Monster.
My wife is obsessed with
Everyone
with the teal Monster, the Ultra Fiesta or whatever it is.
Yeah, this is the Ultra Sunrise, and it's what Patty is currently addicted to. She left it on my desk last night, and I was like, "Oh, nice. That was nice of her."
I'll take this, thank you.
Hey, you guys remember when we bought all those rock stars for Destiny at 2 points?
I do.
No, I'm not.
You're not.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You know how I know? Because Cav responded. Yeah, and I totally poured most, like 90%, all of it, down the sink, and
Oh my god, that hurts.
oh my, I probably spent $150 on Rockstar that I wasn't going to drink anyway. And when I opened it up to pour it down the sink, the odor was horrid. I was like, why would anybody drink this? Ugh. And then I tried some, and it was disgusting.
It's an acquired taste, kind of like beer.
See, you know, they say that about beer. They say that about a lot of things, and some things I'm willing to acquire, others I'm not. That's one of them.
Here's
I don't like beer either. So
here's the classic
beer, the Rockstar.
Oh, I know. I'm saying that I don't like beer.
Here's the classic.
I feel you, cider only.
the overbuy, the things that you got for doing that, like the XP boost or whatever, I still have like 15 of them in my Destiny 2 inventory. Like I still have a bunch.
The point, but that's like it was the hype. Like
oh yeah,
I
it
think
didn't really do anything. It would have made more sense to do that now with the
seasons.
oh my god,
the season
the seasonal thing. It would have made more sense then
Yeah.
with the artifact and all that than it did back then.
Well, so speaking of Destiny 2, here's something funny because you know me, I always love a deal. In that box right there, that box is a sealed Destiny 2 collector's edition because I didn't get one whenever it came out the first time that has like the bag and stuff. I'm going to do like a 5 years late unboxing. So it was like $40 on Amazon.
Is that the special show tomorrow at 7 p.m.?
That is not the special show. So tomorrow, since everybody's here, something that we have worked on, and we are there confirmation wise most of the way, is tomorrow night. Some of us, Jeremy Hahn, who's been on the show before, our artist writer friend from Joplin, is going to be on, and also Megan Hetrick, who's a cover artist. And has done some stuff for DC and Marvel and everybody. And she's done X-Men cards for Upper Deck and all this other stuff. The two of them together are gonna come into the StreamYard, and we're gonna have a chat about just art and life and all kinds of random things. It's gonna be amazing. And so, as I told them kind of before when the show started, like I consider them my friends. I've bought a lot of stuff from them, and we chat about not even transactional stuff. I think, and so, but having them together is going to be pretty amazing. I think just to talk about because they've done like Megan's done covers for Jeremy's stuff, and so. Megan is a tentative still, but Jeremy is a go for sure, and so it's going to be fun to see what he is up to. He also has a Flurkin in his studio, and so
still the coolest studio we've ever been in.
Oh, so cool. The only downside to having to do this remotely is anytime we go to Joplin, whenever we're done, we get to see a bunch of really cool art before anybody else does. Yeah. I don't know that we're going to be able to see that this time unless he throws
probably not screen. Would be my guess. Yeah, probably not.
Well, we can always end the broadcast. We could end the broadcast and he can still show it to us on camera.
If he's willing, yeah. I actually watched Highwaymen. It's been about a week or so ago.
Kevin
and
Costner?
When they were in Joplin, when they were in Joplin looking for Bonnie and Clyde, I was like, "That's his house. That's where they were."
So
go ahead.
Yeah, the story. Yeah, the story to that is his. Is it his? It's a studio, isn't it?
It's the studio. Yeah.
The studio used to be a doctor's office, and you can see it because where his kitchen is, there's a drain in the floor.
I have a picture of Cav before the kitchen was the kitchen. The first time we went up there, he was looking through art. And he's sitting on that floor with the drain next to him, almost like steal it, and this is where you'll end up. You know,
it was. I mean,
because we were by ourselves. We weren't even there. I mean, we were totally by ourselves. They dropped us off. They went back to the comic store and just left us there. Hundreds of dollars worth of art right there.
Oh, thousands of bonds. Yeah, he basically said, here's a flat file, one of those big flat file things, 4 feet tall, whatever. Here's a flat file full of art. Go through it. Let me know what you want. And so I'm sitting there just with stacks and stacks and stacks of art going through stuff. I bought a lot of art that day.
Hey, Amir.
Amir, good to see you. And so...
did you end up getting that map? Or did you leave the map?
I left the map then. I got it later.
Okay. Yeah, craziest thing is, so that story, which we've told before, but I'm just watching Cav kind of do his thing. I'm in no financial place to buy anything, so just leaving it at that. And he pulls out this huge map, gigantic map, and he instantly goes, "That's from Batman." What was it from? Batman what?
That's one of the Batman Arkham Manor ones, I think.
Something like that. But it was this big, There we go. It was that big in the actual comic book, but it's a full-size version of it, and he knew exactly what it was. Cracked me up.
Yeah, he basically he decided to draw a full size version of it, and they shrunk it down for the book, and to fit in whatever. So yeah, that's down in my kitchen right now. So
Okay.
yeah, it's down there. So
That doesn't sound like a very secure spot for it.
Well,
With all the steam and heat. And
it is.
moisture going through the air.
I say kitchen. It is in front of the pantry off, but it is framed and whatever hanging on the wall. So I'm gonna try and like obviously most of the walls here are empty. I said last week I was gonna try and do stuff. I obviously didn't get anything done, but there might be some rotating art in the room. Because I have much as like what Brandon said, I have too much stuff for the wall space I have, and so I'm just gonna have to figure out a way to rotate stuff in and out over time. So, but yeah,
Are the pictures actually going to rotate?
well, there was a time where my goal was I looked at two things because the original studio where I'm sitting was originally going to be an art room. Basically, its whole purpose was art, and I was going to do sliding doors in the room that you could hang art from. And so you could hang a bunch of art and go through the room. Then the podcast happened, and we turned it into a studio. My second plan was to get a bunch of bezel-less computer monitors because I have high-res scans of all of my art and just have them up on the walls like frames, just cycling through all of my art. So now my art collection is not nearly as big as it used to be. I actually offloaded quite a bit of it. But the stuff like the Megan Hetrick stuff and the Jeremy Hahn stuff, like that stuff I'll never sell. So, all right, let's get back onto things. Let's talk about Batwoman.
Okay.
I find this very interesting. So basically, they are not going to replace Kate Kane. They're not going to replace the actress playing Kate Kane. They are going to have a completely new lead character, and there is a casting notice that went out. It says, she is a likable, messy, little goofy, and untamed. She's also nothing like Kate Kane, the woman who wore the bat suit before her. With no one in her life to keep her on track, Ryan spent years as a drug runner, dodging the GCPD and masking her pain with bad habits. A girl who would steal milk for an alley cat could also kill you with her bare hands. She is the most dangerous type of fighter, highly skilled, wildly undisciplined, an out lesbian, athletic, raw, passionate, fallible, and very much not your typical all-American hero.
I still say Harper. I want Harper Rowe. The character.
Yeah. As I
know
say,
that won't hurt, but
yeah, I don't like. Do they bring somebody in from the DC universe to do this, or do you think because most people are thinking that the name Ryan Wilder is probably just a placeholder. So the question is, do they bring somebody else in, somebody from the DC universe, and if so, who? So I was reading another article saying, I'm not super familiar with this character, but Mother Panic apparently is a character in the DC universe that kind of fits this. Basically, is the anti-Batman. Like her suit's white. You know, I think she also comes out during the day. So, but I find this interesting because now, even from like a casting standpoint, to me, this opens it up to pretty much anybody. Because if you're not having to be Kate Kane,
mm-hmm.
you can be pretty much anybody. Because you look at our most of the podcasts, I would say, they're one of the favorite people, Stephanie Beatrice from Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's a hard transition to make as Kate Kane, purely because, the ethnicity part of it would have to be explained somehow, some way. Now it doesn't, so it doesn't matter. Like, it's a very interesting thing to do, and so hopefully, like I said, this opens it up to just about anybody, which I think is going to be pretty cool. So, but question is, who from the DC universe, if it is somebody existing, who do you bring over?
This is what I was hoping they would do, because there's so much breadth there that they can pull from. losing a main title star doesn't have to be catastrophic.
Yeah. Now we were talking about this. Whatever we were talking about, more of a Huntress kind of vibe.
I would love to have Huntress.
Yeah.
Turn it into like a Birds of Prey type.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. I mean,
Are they still going for like just the female villains, or are they gonna try and incorporate more male villains?
I don't know. That show is very female centric. But there are reference like Hush is in there now. I mean, so there is a.
Well, that was just like my biggest complaint was like, why not show this woman like kicking a man's ass? Like, just
yeah,
have a male villain. Like,
yeah,
plenty.
Or at least they're rotating.
Yeah, kind of the villain of the like they've been doing an overarching storyline for season 1, thing like that. And granted, I'm very far behind on it, but now it's going to be a little difficult because like if I know that she's leaving, like do I want to invest in season 1? How much does that have to go into season 2? I probably will at some point just because it's the Bat universe, but I don't know. It could be. I'm very interested. Like this will absolutely get me to watch the season premiere of season 2, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this will because I assume they have to. They're going to have to address it at some point, and figure out how it is. Like, surely they're not going to kill Kate Kane.
What if she went to wherever Bruce went?
Oh.
What if wherever he left? I know they haven't said anything too much about that, and she just went that way too.
Well, maybe he found out that she's doing this or whatever, and he wants to train or something like that, and maybe he says you need to come here, something like that, and somebody takes over the mantle. Because then look at it, it's just like we were talking about with the church hats up above and the cowls. Like, doesn't necessarily matter who's in the cowl. Like, talk about how interesting of a show would it be if your main lead character changed, a la Doctor Who. Like you had a new Batwoman every couple of 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
be a Robin. That's what you should do. Pass on the cow.
Mm-hmm.
It could die, and you keep the mantle going.
I was going to say, pretty much every Robin has been Batman at some point, and even Gordon has. So they could do the same thing with Batwoman.
And here's the thing: in 1966, even Alfred was Batman. So I don't know how they got away with. They could only get away with that in 1966 Batman, having Alfred put on the cowl.
With Batman.
Yep, that's true.
He was like a World War II English spy or whatever. He could do Batman for a little.
So there's a lot of different things that you could do. So. Oh, we lost Nick again. Poor Nick.
I actually thought that you did that.
I know.
I did not. I did not kick Nick out.
It's like I heard the click and then he disappeared.
Yeah, I've got to fix the. I got to switch to the. Unfortunately, like where my microphone is, like my mouse is right underneath it.
Didn't you buy like a
silent mouse? I just haven't put it in. I just haven't. I'll try and click more softly. So, in other TV news, The Witcher looks like it's going to resume production on season 2 very soon, which I'm very excited about. They were talking about Netflix paused production of season 2 back in March, and he's back. So,
he's making me mad today.
The Arborfield Studios, where they were filming Witcher season 2, looks like they're going to open again in just a couple of weeks. And so it's been shut down for over 2 months. Henry Cavill's been posting videos online of him painting miniatures.
What kind of miniatures?
I think is he doing Warhammer miniatures and stuff?
Yeah,
something like that. So, so they did say that one of the cast members in The Witcher had confirmed a positive test of COVID-19, but this was before or after all of that. It came after. So they're going to start doing that, which is going to be amazing. I put this in here, and I may be the only person who cares about this. As a child, did anybody watch the Perry Mason black and white reruns from
Yes.
back in the day?
Excellent. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So HBO is doing a Perry Mason series.
Yes.
So with Matthew Reese from The Americans, and so like I just like that has a very specific place for me. Like growing up, if I was sick home from school, I would watch like Perry Mason and westerns on television. Like that's what I would do.
And Matlock. I watched Matlock.
I did not. The spelling of my name is actually based on a western. So there you go. Little fun fact. But they not Cav, the other one. So,
That has a Western vibe to it. Calvary, I can see it.
yeah. So they do. So yeah, it's going to be a darker take on Perry Mason. But it's I'm down. You know, it's a Depression era, City of Angels, that whole thing. It's going to be amazing. So that's coming out on HBO. I didn't realize. So that was on TV from 1957 to 1966. And Raymond Burr continued to do TV movie roles up until his death in 1993.
Oh wow.
So you want to talk about someone being a character for a very long time? Does anybody beat Perry Mason except for maybe Matlock?
You mean at courts?
Nope.
Can you imagine that crossover? Perry Mason versus I almost said Batman versus Matlock in court.
Surely did that? Okay, how did that not happen? Are we sure that this didn't happen? Perry Mason versus Matlock? Hang on, we're gonna Google this. Somebody Google this.
That might tear the. It might be like Sam and in Sam and Diane. In Cheers when they brought in Frasier and the whole world like just was like no and was so against it.
Yeah.
I feel like they might do that because so many people. I feel like you're either Matlock fan or Perry Mason, and I don't think they would know like how to choose whose side you're on.
That's true because somebody has to win, somebody has to lose.
And it works because Perry Mason was a prosecutor.
Oh,
Matlock was always defending.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna see if we can do this here.
It doesn't look like they ever were in the same episode.
Where's the fanfic, guys?
Quick to the internet.
GTN presents.
Yeah, I'm on a website called Boards, and it just says who would win, Matlock versus Perry Mason. And it's like, just a forum of everyone like putting in their
what they think they would be.
Yeah.
Sam says if you type Google into Google, Sam says if you type Google into Google, you will break the internet.
Oh yeah.
This is
Don't
a
do
fact.
that.
Listen here, Jen.
It's an infinite loop. So it's like, yo, bro, you like your Googles and your Googles? So let's see. We're talking about in other movie news. Christopher Nolan talked about how Tenet, which looks very exciting. They are not going to move the release date. Mid-July is what they're saying. Now they're saying, well, there are reports that Warner Brothers is looking for a new release date for Tenet. And because the calendars are so full, they're having a tough place to try and find a place to put it. But they're saying that 90% of most movie theaters should be open by the end of July. But the real tough part might be that 10% might be New York and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And if New York and LA aren't open, like, I don't know that you can necessarily put big stuff back in the theaters. So your cat wants to be on camera.
It's Bandit.
Very photogenic.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's the thing. So in your guys' opinion, do they just stick with mid-July and potentially take it in the teeth on the box office returns? Do you think it's big enough to overcome that?
I think they're hoping it's big enough.
Well, it's going to be
depending on how
Go ahead.
this plays out. Sorry,
No, you're
will
fine.
determine like what other people might do as far as their releasing and stuff.
Is it going to be the first big tentpole release?
There was talks about Mulan but Mulan might get a Disney digital release.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing.
So,
I think if it's the first one and it gets people back into theaters, first off, you'll make your money. You'll definitely make your money. But second off, you'll have a place in history, and you might be able to launch a franchise if Nolan wants to do that. That's going to give it added for that.
Yeah.
And man, I'd want to be that director that got the nation back into the theaters. I want to be that guy.
Well, you won't have competition, and it's Nolan's already a huge thing. So
And Robert Pattinson.
yep,
Yes.
our bets.
And Robert Pattinson, who, by the way, was fantastic in The Lighthouse.
Fun fact: he found out he was Batman the first day of filming on Tenet.
Oh wow.
That's cool.
Like, how do you you're filming like that? You just started filming this movie, like you're right in this character. Oh, by the way, you're Batman.
Do you go like immediately to Nolan?
You've got to go to Nolan. You've got to tell him.
You gotta be like, I'm Batman, and like tell me everything I need to know. Like, how was yours a success so that my Batman can be a success?
Or go to him and be like, if I'm getting too Batman-y whenever I'm acting here, let me know.
Right.
Something I didn't realize, and this, I mean, is so John David Washington, who was in Ballers and is in Tenet and stuff like that. I had no idea that's Denzel Washington's kid.
yeah,
No clue. And he did not tell his dad that he was acting or anything until he got cast in Ballers.
oh, that's awesome.
That's funny.
So he played in the NFL, stuff like that. And so, I mean, talk about cool, like not, so many people would rely on that connection, rely on that name or whatever. And he went the total opposite.
That's respectful.
Yep. So that's going to be pretty, awesome. I'm excited about Tenet. Like, I like the Nolan stuff. We'll never know if that top ever actually falls over in Inception, but it's a lot of different things. That'll be one of those movies that you're going to have to see more than once, just to kind of see, because with time running forward and backwards and things like that.
Yeah.
Yep, it's true. Yes, I expect. Yeah, you're getting too Batman-y.
What if they did the dual release? So they did the at-home release and theater release. Hedge their bets.
I see. The thing is, like, I like that idea, but at that point, like, theaters are going to get mad, sure, but at some point, do theaters even really get a say? Because theaters don't exist without the movie studios.
I feel like if they're going to do the split release where they're going to do the theaters and they're going to do the streaming, that they should like go ahead and push it out the theaters, like say, hey, go watch it in the theaters, but also release it on streaming, but don't announce that they released it on streaming.
Or release it later on streaming, like
Yeah.
after a couple of weeks.
Well,
2 weeks.
Open at capacity anyway, so you can't get the full revenue. They can make a good deal seeing it somewhere. I don't want to have to wait several years for these films. I was okay with like the 3-month coronavirus delay, but it's affecting things to 2022.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point, which is the theaters aren't going to be at capacity.
Mhm.
So I like it. I mean, I'm with you, Hannah. I like the simul release. Like, it's just, if some people are not going to go to theaters, capacity or not.
Safety, and we respect that. If they're going to stay home anyway, give them a way to spend their money and watch it.
Yeah.
People want to get out. People are itching. So there are people that still go to theaters and pay their money.
Nick, are you there? Or are you frozen? No, he's still
I'm
here.
here.
Okay. he was going down. I'm just like, that is a total okay, we need a screenshot of that. We'll pull it from the video. That is the Nick version of the sad Keanu meme. Like,
I just don't. I don't know what to say because I keep freezing. So, yeah.
Give that man a hamburger.
With a gluten-free bun.
Only if the bun's gluten free.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, I've got a challenge for you for next Extra Life.
What's that?
So If someone donates I'd say $25, you have to drink.
A rock star.
And if they donate 50, you have to drink.
Another rock star.
If they donate 60,
You do realize,
Come
like,
back, like chug.
oh yeah.
you realize, like, the probability of me having a heart attack after drinking that's phenomenally high.
Well, you have
Not
to
that bad.
drink a little bit of it. It's okay. I've got one for Cav too.
No.
Here's the thing:
No.
$25, $50, $100 isn't enough to give me a drink free.
But what if people pay so you don't drink it? So people are trying to save your life. You just escalate both sides of the thing.
I'm convinced that the internet doesn't care about me. I'm convinced the internet doesn't care about me.
I don't.
No,
think
people
the
care
rock
about
stars
you.
go
I
bad
would pay for you
necessarily.
not to drink
I would
it.
donate some for you.
I
to
think
not
think
drink it.
Jetpack.
I would donate.
I think Jetpack's right. I don't think they go bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you do. It's like the scales of justice. Like, drink it, don't drink it. No, that's like I
I'm not
can't.
doing it.
No, if you put that level of caffeine in my body, I'll die.
I've
It
got
turned out well for
crap,
Jason
dude.
Todd.
I mean, I usually sit around like 1,000 milligrams caffeine a day. So
Yeah, I'll die if you put anything like
Here's
that.
the thing. I would consider the challenge if the last time I went to the doctor they weren't like, "Are you okay?" Now, granted, I was having a panic attack, but still, 134 beats per minute sitting still is not safe. So
So you don't
probably
have to
going
do
to
it
shy
right
away.
I
Huh?
don't know.
You don't have to do it right then. We just wait till you get a very, very low heartbeat,
Oh,
and then you can do it. Jump
I'm
on
good now.
Facebook
I'm
Live
pretty
real
sure
quick.
his anxiety is just going to go through the roof just looking at the Rockstar can.
But that's the thing is, like, I had to go to a doctor where other sick people were because I had an ear infection,
What if we
which
sneak it
then
into
turned
your
into
drink?
shingles. So yeah, it was just not a good experience altogether.
Yeah, see, we have to think about, honestly. We have to think about the food and drink portion of it. Like I said, Hannah's had a fairly rough experience eating stuff for charity. Now, our friend Anthony, Nick and I used to ride bikes with him. We used to ride for Sound Pony. Anthony, what he did is his wife, based on donations, would basically make like whipped cream cakes, pudding cakes, or whatever. And then he got hit in the face with them. So
See, I'm good with that.
So you're saying we
Sort
should
of like-
hit Nick in the face with a rock star?
Totally safer than drinking it.
if you can dodge a rock star, you can dodge a ball.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
I would donate money for that to not happen.
I would let you throw it at me from 50 yards away.
Oh God!
Wow.
If I could throw a rock star 50 yards, I'd be starting for the Colts.
It gives me more of a chance to get out of the way. That's
No,
what
no,
I'm
no.
saying.
If I'm throwing it from 50 yards away, you're not allowed to move.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
No.
It could be a good year.
Because honestly,
Yeah.
like the chances of me hitting you from 50 yards, not gonna happen.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Like-
know. That inertia of that rock star might actually make it more accurate.
I mean,
It
could you
might,
put
but if
rock
you-
stars in
if
like a
you can
pitching
run-
machine?
I was thinking
Yeah,
cheese.
thanks.
If you can run, you got time to
We needed
avoid.
more ideas.
I just imagine now that like
Good
the
throwing
rock star like
already.
just barely misses, hits off to the side, hits the ground. First, shoots off like a rocket, hits you in the face.
Have you seen those videos of those people shaking up the pop bottles and doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. They throw them and they like shoot way up. I saw a guy on a like a 50cc dirt bike shake up a 2-liter, throws it down, it shoots up in the air. He keeps striding and catches it.
Crazy.
Sam and I might have done stuff like that back in high school.
I used to shake it up and shoot the top off. Do you remember that? Did you ever do that?
No.
No.
We did that in high school, like, private high school is you're so rebel. Shake up the pop bottle and then you spin it off, it'd shoot up and stick in the ceiling.
Oh boy. Yes.
I got one for you two here.
The Batman Mountain Dew. Even then, wouldn't do it. Dark Knight Rises, one, it's expired. 2.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
it's
He
8
doesn't
years
drink
old.
caffeine.
I don't know.
I mean,
I
that's
don't.
the thing is like
It's got plenty of
He doesn't drink
preservatives.
it.
It's fine.
That's true. Preservatives.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mountain Dew
I mean,
is
I
like
drink-
Twinkies.
I drink I drink coffee in the morning, and it's like 1 to 2 cups max. I mean, that's it. Cav doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He's
there's-
straight edge.
There's no caffeine in my system at all. So, all right, let's talk about some other stuff. This is pretty interesting from a comic standpoint. DC Comics has ended their deal with Diamond Distribution. This is huge in the comics industry. Basically, DC kind of brought when Diamond was closed, they brought those other people in to do distribution for them for a select number of books and things like that. Well, they have ended their relationship with Diamond after 25 years. That's a huge chunk. That's going to hurt Diamond in a big way. Which
in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, because now you have to order. You have to order DC books through Lunar Distribution and UCS Comics distributors, which are tied to DC, like specifically. And so Lunar Distribution is owned by DCBS, a discount comic retailer that's all online. UCS is owned by New York's Midtown Comics. Now, Midtown Comics is where all the DC staff, artists, writer people, that's where all of their comps and all that other stuff come from. So there's a very direct line between Midtown and DC.
Mm-hmm. They're like online.
Why did they end?
My only thought is, if DC Comics is having some sort of financial thing, why would you pay somebody else to distribute your books if you can do it yourself?
Sure.
Well, I heard they had a lot of problems during COVID because it was Diamond's decision to stop distributing.
Yes.
And cash flow problems, so they couldn't pay DC. So for a week, DC's like, you owe us money, and they wouldn't pay. So they went temporarily, and then they were just unhappy with the whole disaster response.
And so what's interesting, too, is Penguin Random House. So Random House has, been around for a million years. They are going to take on the distribution for graphic novels and collected editions. Mm. So they're going to do the distribution for those. And then Lunar and UCS is going to do direct market and single issue distribution. It's effective immediately. From DC, it says, the change in DC's distribution plans has not been made lightly and follows a long period of thought and consideration. The change of direction is in line with DC's overall strategic vision intended to improve the health of and strengthen the direct market, as well as grow a number of fans who read comics worldwide. The email got sent to retailers. Diamond will only be fulfilling orders placed through the June 1st final cutoff, will not solicit the sale of new DC titles. DC will also suspend final order cutoff for June 8th as well. So this is yes, DC is being distributed by the Penguin. You are correct. So, but for Diamond, who's just now opening back up and things like that, like this is going to hurt them. I mean, it's 30 or 40% of the market.
Yeah.
Like that's going to hurt Diamond a lot.
And it sounds like they were surprised by it because they were still listing DC distributions coming up, and this was just sudden.
Yeah. I mean, this is a story that we're going to keep an eye on because I feel like this is not yet over in terms of the real story. Like there was all the talk about whenever they temporarily went the other way, which made sense because Diamond would close, DC wanted to get their books out, but DC pissed off the retailers because like, why do I don't need, my stores are closed. You can't distribute to me. There's nobody there to take it. Mm-hmm. And so they weren't super thrilled about that.
Local comic stores are also very upset because they get volume discounts through Diamond for
Yep.
all of their books. So now that cuts their discounts and like they just have 30 to 40% of their distribution business. So that's out of their pocket, and they're already a very low margin area with comic books.
Yeah. So I mean, this could hurt. Like, here's the thing: this could hurt Diamond, and then what if, like, let's just talk theoretically conspiracy theories just for fun. Let's say this hurts Diamond. Diamond gets it away, and Warner Brothers or some DC related property just goes whoop and buys Diamond, and now all of a sudden Marvel for distribution and IDW and all those other people are now paying a DC related entity for distribution of their books.
I think Marvel would find another way before.
I think Marvel would too.
You think they would start their own distribution probably? Now that they're with Disney, Disney, I don't know why they
have unlimited funds.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, are we approaching a time where basically the distribution is direct, where you get, DC distributes their own books, Marvel through one of the Disney
I can see it.
production houses does all the Marvel books,
Marvel starts up the MDU.
the Marvel distribution universe. So, yeah, there could be a lot of. This is going to be a story worth watching for quite a while, for sure. I won't spend too much time on Command and Conquer. I will just say it's awesome during the installation process of the game. Like, nobody who has never played the game before really will appreciate the attention that got put to the installer of basically the intro video that looked like an installer to the game. Like, I was sincerely giddy when I was watching it, and people who know me well enough know, like, I don't get giddy about much of anything. Like, my family, yes, stuff like that, but Batman for sure. But I mean, this was a kind of a new level because this was 25 years. And like the fact that EA of all people put this much care and love into this game, into this remaster. I dislike EA a little less because of it. So I will say one of the coolest things is they kept the old Westwood Studios logo, and even the Electronic Arts logo is the same logo they were using in 1995. So they went back to the old, like, kind of 90s style lines, whatever. And so gameplay's good. It looks good. It's so much fun. I could go on, but I won't.
I thought the cool aspect of it was, as I started playing it, I thought, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play like this. This is a little dated. And then it's like, hit the space bar for HD, and I hit it, and I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, they've got the old, like, they totally stole that from Halo. Whenever you can switch between original Halo and the remastered Halo, you hit the space bar. You can go back and forth between. I was talking to Barry as we were playing, and we're just like, how did we even play this game back then? How do you even know what was happening? It was so pixelated and so awful. Like, of course, then you're doing, like, your resolution is much different. It's 640 by 480. You're not in these, like, ultra high definition, monitors and things like that.
It's the same way for, like, Nintendo. Like, the original Nintendo, we thought it was amazing because the pixels on the TV were terrible compared to now.
It's true.
You just didn't know.
So I will say this: for $20, it is absolutely worth a buy. It's on. Yeah. I would say on Steam, it's $20. Absolutely worth a buy. That's the actual reason that Hannah was late today. She was playing Command and Conquer.
Yep.
Like, finally, a game that emulates my own life.
It's true. Total domination of countries and worlds at a time. So
that's Hannah.
Well, there you go.
She's got a flirt and she can do whatever she wants.
Yep.
It's true. Because we have to get into this somewhat because we're from, some of us are in Oklahoma, not all of us. There's Tiger King news because shocking absolutely nobody. The first husband of Carol Baskin's first husband of Carol Baskin, his will was completely forged. Surprising nobody.
Really?
I mean, she knew that sardine oil on the bottom of the shoes would attract the tiger. And she said that on the Netflix special. Like, I'm pretty sure those tigers were snacking on her husband.
Oh, 100%. And various theories about her husband. The band behind the Joe Exotic music, the one surviving band member, has released a new song. Oh, yes. Released a new song. It's called Killer Carol, the Vince Johnson Band. I recommend you find this on YouTube. It is amazing. It's animated in some respects. It's other stuff. I would share it, but we're running a little short on time. Yeah.
The fact that he made his own video with a lookalike in it and it's on the Netflix specials is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But the craziest part of it is, like, she was awarded the zoo first, and then this article came out. Like,
yeah,
and there's nothing they can do about it because of the statute of limitations.
Yep. So she's
bananas.
So she's getting the zoo, not the animals, just the zoo that Joe Exotic had here. Now Jeff Lowe, she doesn't get the animals; she gets the property.
Really? Okay.
So Jeff Lowe, the other guy from the series, he's opening a new zoo called Tiger King in Thackerville, and he and his wife have signed on for a reality show about the zoo, including the movement of the animals from the Joe Exotic Zoo to Tiger King.
Isn't the Thackerville? Isn't that where we stop when we drive down to Dallas?
I don't think we stop in Thackerville now. Oh
Okay,
no,
because I thought it was.
maybe
I thought it was right at that casino crossroads area,
I don't. Maybe.
like Windstream Casino or whatever it is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if that's Thackerville or not. Either way, note now they have signed for a new reality series, Jeff Lowe and his wife, but nobody has actually. No network has officially picked it up yet.
Because
So
nobody wants to see it.
So here's the thing: somebody's going to pick it up. It's going to happen, and so
As long as we don't have like a made-for-TV movie, we're okay.
oh, we're totally going to get at least
We're
one of
getting
those.
Because I was telling Joni, and I think I was sharing this in chat. Like when we were kids, my parents let me watch some jacked up stuff because it was made for television TV. You know what I mean? Like I remember watching a movie about a true story about a hijacking of a school bus where the kids died in a tunnel because I will put the link. I will absolutely find it and put the link in our chat. And my parents let me watch that. Same with the Hawaii flight where the roof came off the plane or something and people got sucked out. True story. Actually happened. Probably not exactly how it went in the movie, but it happened. Google it. It's like a Hawaiian flight something.
Based on a true story
Then
or true events.
it's there was an incident on a plane. I don't imagine that what they showed on TV is exactly how it went down, but it was the 80s and it was, it is what it is.
It's the one by
And
Misty says it's the Windstar Casino, the one that's being that one is. I don't think it's the one that we drive by. I think it's the other one if you're going down to Texas.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Windstar.
You guys
Maybe
go
not.
through Durant?
We go through Durant. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's just a little
Is
ways
that the
over.
one over by Oklahoma City?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
But,
about 3 miles.
The final weird one that my parents let me watch was one. It was like about killer bees.
Killer bees.
Murder
And-
hornets.
Still can.
Yeah, but it was like totally fictional, not even remotely a thing. But it was when killer bees were coming, and there was a swarm that had made a nest in this guy next to this guy's house, and they get trapped in the house, and the bees are coming in through the vents. The car alarm starts going off, and they get agitated. Like I can remember it all because I was terrified.
It seems like we need to find this online in like Mystery Science Theater. This thing.
I'll find it right now. I need to give you the names.
Yeah. We're gonna hit the tower here shortly. Here, their jetpack. So, all right. So we're gonna end on this one or whatever. We're not gonna get super deep into what's been going on to the world right now because there's too much to get into, and there's too many different opinions. And certainly, we like to stay neutral and light on this podcast. Certainly, the things that have gone wrong and some of the things that have happened, we don't agree with and things like that. We're going to leave it at that part. So we just want everybody to stay safe. That's at the end of the day, that's what we want. Everybody to stay safe, not make, don't put yourself in a place of harm because unfortunately in this day and age, it is not completely under your control.
Okay, movie name for killer bees, Deadly Invasion.
As I'm saying, you never know when killer bees are going to show up.
It's literally called Deadly Invasion, the Killer Bee Nightmare.
Awesome.
1995.
All right. So he unplugged right as I'm talking about. Did you hear what I started talking about, Nick? I was going into we're not going to get too deep into the whole thing or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you came into that in the back with killer bees. I love it.
I heard that, and
Okay.
And I'm gonna let that be the statement.
People need to know about the Killer Bee movie.
Yes, but we can't not know about the Killer Bee movie. So, from Star Wars, John Boyega is a very vocal person when it comes to certain things, and he has come out certainly and done some protesting and has had a very powerful, passionate is probably the better word, passionate speech, basically saying, I don't know if I'm going to have a career after this, but blank that, calling for justice for George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, other innocent people who are halfway through their process. Now, typically when stuff like that happens, you get companies that like kind of stand back and like, hey, he does not, anytime you get a director's commentary on DVDs, the blah, 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 of blah, 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 blah does not necessarily, represent the views of X company. Yeah. The official Star Wars Twitter comes out in Lucasfilm and says the following. Lucasfilm stands with John Boyega in his message that now is the time. Black lives have always mattered. Black lives have always been important. Black lives always meant something. The evil that is racism must stop. We must commit to being part of the change that is long overdue in the world. John Boyega, you are our hero. This caught a lot of people by surprise because when you get somebody like Lucasfilm / Disney supporting and doing something like that, that's big because typically they don't wade into things like this. Disney also announced that they'll be donating $5 million to organizations that support social justice, including $2 million to the NAACP.
Good.
So
nice.
It is a very...
It's time for people to get involved.
Yep. And
time.
And for people to use their platforms.
For companies to get involved.
And it's people to use their platforms responsibly. Because not everybody does. And so, but yeah, I thought that it was worth noting just purely from a nerd standpoint that, Disney and everything like that, typically they are stepping up. And when a lot of people do not, I just realized that DC is being distributed by the Penguin is still on the screen. So, even though it's right in front of me the whole time. Movie. Yes, the Killer Bees movie. So there is.
So where are we supposed to go? Where are we supposed to go for
Tower?
The
Tower.
The Tower. Okay.
Go to the Tower.
All right. Hey, next crazy movie my parents let me watch. They've taken our children. The Chowchilla kidnapping. It's from 1976. Is when it actually happened.
Tell me these things. So Jetpack, I think it kind of got talked over. He asked about, is it a true story or based on true events? Because there's a very different
You're right.
They could take hijacking of a bus and then just take the extreme of it because now it's just based on true events versus true story.
Well, here's the thing. I would say that it's based on true events more than a true story.
He hasn't been in since Reset. So
I haven't been in. Sorry, my bad. However, the bus kidnapping thing, when you Google the situation, there are news reports and things about it. So I imagine that's probably a little more aligned to actually what occurred. The flight thing, I know for a fact that something happened, but how accurate it is, I mean, that's up to new. I don't know. The Killer Bee thing's totally fictional and terrifying.
Well, I mean, of all of them, honestly, I'd hope that the Killer Bee thing was based on a true story.
I guess it could be, but I don't.
Maybe it was just ahead of its time because now we have those murder hornets.
It's true.
Have you seen those things? They're gigantic.
Aren't they 3 inches long or something like that?
Oh, they're.
Yeah, so, I saw one crawling on a guy's hand. I'm like, no way.
There's a guy that I know that does a lot of his own fruit, wine stuff, basically moonshining his stuff. But he also keeps bees. That I found this out over the past couple of days, and I said, so let me get this straight. Is it possible that your bees have escaped, gotten into your moonshine, got very aggressive, very drunk, grew, and became murder hornets? I mean, prove me wrong.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Right. You just have to prove you wrong.
That's exactly right. So,
fact check that.
Exactly right. All right. I'm going to see if I can see I'm getting Destiny going over there. But yeah, so we've had a lot of kind of stuff to talk about too. But we still have some other stuff. But we got people are landing on towers and things like that. Jetpack, what is your take on this Destiny Live event? Do you think it is I mean, is it too Fortnite, or is it something that this game drastically needs?
I think like I enjoy the fact that it's not like every season like they're like, hey, fresh new live event like Fortnite has. So like this being like the second one in 2 games that I'm aware of at least.
Yeah.
What was the
I
first
think it's a nice
one?
little like refreshment, really.
Yeah.
What was the first one?
Oh, it was in Destiny 1 that I remember.
Oh, well, I definitely missed that one then.
Yeah, he
Because
came.
I came in after it was like the Rise of Iron bundle was out. Like that's when
okay, yeah.
Yeah, he
that's
came.
when I came in.
Yeah, I got Destiny 1 midnight release. That's actually where I met Patty. That's how her and I got together.
Awesome.
That
At
midnight
the
release.
seriously at the Destiny release? Okay, that is amazing on every level.
Yeah, she
That's
she was
awesome.
working at the GameStop that I went to pre-order at.
Nice.
So
Nice. And you were like, hey, you're my destiny. Can you
it was like a year later.
Oh, okay. So did you
It's
say
like-
you're my density then?
Like you're just
Like
playing
Back
the
to the
long,
Future?
just playing the long game. It's all right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Back to the Future, he's holding his pad out and he says, you're my density. I mean, you are my destiny.
Damn autocorrect.
That's awesome, man.
That is
That's
amazing.
really cool.
So
That's really cool.
like because of that, like a lot of our date nights revolved around Destiny. So
That's awesome.
Aw.
That is cool. Does she
That's
still
super cool, man.
does she still play?
yeah. She doesn't play as much as I do, but she still plays.
Are you on Xbox or PlayStation?
Or PC?
I'm on Xbox and
Or
PC.
PC. Okay. Awesome.
The name is
Well, we
pretty
need to
much
get a
just
party
like,
going.
this over here, but with a space between the K and the R.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to. We'll get those linked up so we can play some, because that will
So
be fun.
is the live event at noon? I'm not up to date. I'm
It
not.
is it noon? So
Okay.
all right. Well, it is nice to have a lot of faces around here. It's a little tougher to manage. And so, but as always, you can find our sources on gathernerds.com. All the articles we linked are going to be there. Next week, we'll post some links for Nick's greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
And so,
Worst movies of all time.
so we'll do that as well. Like I said, tomorrow night, Jeremy Hahn, some of us will be there. It will be fun. I assume there will be bourbon on his side, so there'll probably be White Claw on mine. I don't know. So I just disappointed Jetpack. So
Hey, Jetpack, what is your Xbox handle? Jetpack.
It's Jetpack Rabbit with a space between the K and the R.
nice.
Okay.
Cav, I
It's
can
just
bring
not
some
pulling
bourbon
it up.
over if you
Nah, I'm good. I do not
need.
require.
I've got plenty. I've got a quarantine
there you
level
are.
supply.
You have a quarantine supply?
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
I didn't know if I'd ever be able to get it again. I knew I probably would, but I used that as the excuse.
You know, the funniest thing, and this is totally not nerd related in regard to all of this. I'll say this and then I'll be done. When we were getting our puppy, I was giving Joni a hard time because she was telling me the dollar amount. I'm like, okay, time out here. You want this dollar amount allocated to something that within 14, 15 years is probably going to move on. But you're worried about me spending an additional dollar amount on top of that, like just duplicating that for a car part that will last until Harper's 35 or older. And she looked at me like, really? Like, it was worth a shot, you know. Oh, another flirkin.
That's
I
amazing.
think the flirkin just gave you the really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I got the thumbs up to go ahead. So it's all good.
Jetpack. There,
Already, looky there.
there it is. I will. We'll set that over. Awesome. You're at
Jetpack.
209. Good gravy. You're at 209 for this season.
Yes.
You do play a lot.
Very casual.
Yes.
I'm
Very.
at,
Well, because
I
like
think I'm at 46.
I only play Destiny like 4 days a week. Play
Oh.
other games the other 3 nights.
Gotcha. So-
How long do you typically play?
I usually get on around like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I play until almost midnight.
Dang.
Wow.
That's that.
Hardcore. Earth 2 Church. Do you
Super casual.
play anything? Super
was that?
casual. Oh, I was asking Earth 2 Church. Do you play anything?
I do. I do play Destiny when it came out for a little bit. I haven't done it recently, but mostly PC gaming.
Play Stardew
Gotcha.
Valley.
Oh yeah, Linda and I play games every Sunday, so
Yeah.
lots of Stardew Valley, lots of fun.
Very cool.
Very cool. All right, gang. We're going to head to the tower. This has been fun. We'll bring more people in. We'll do this more often. Jetpack, Earth 2 Church, thanks for joining us. You guys are welcome whenever we have, whenever you guys have time. It's a lot of fun.
Hey,
to have
last
more people.
I appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was awesome having you. Last question, and I'll let you close it out,
All
Kev.
Okay.
Has everybody that has done Zoom meetings and or this kind of stuff, have you felt the urge to wave when you leave a
leave?
meeting? I don't wave in a regular meeting. I will walk out of the room. But whenever it's on video, for some reason I feel like I have to wave.
I throw gang signs. Is that normal?
We have interviewed people for positions and I've waved bye to them.
I feel like
Who does that?
That's pretty funny. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. But when we're done with this, we wave. Have you noticed this? Like we do.
This is true.
So-
All right, man. I'm done.
I just want to say I
Yeah.
did that even when we were all at Cav's house. I waved goodbye to the camera.
I was about to.
That's
I was about to
because
mention
you're a
that.
better
And Hannah
person than
always
all of us.
waved.
That's hey, it's not that we're waving goodbye to each other, because screw you guys. We're waving goodbye to the fans.
Like when people come on and I see them over here, I'm always waving.
Waving.
Even if I don't say hi.
I mean, we could like do the ear thing.
Oh, the Carol Burnett
I
ear
was-
thing.
There you go.
I just noticed we all waved. That's why I asked. That's all.
That's funny.
That's all.
We could all wave,
That's
and
it.
Nick won't. That could work.
I just stare at him.
You just
Yeah.
stare coldly.
Yes, Nick goes into sad Nick meme. Just, yeah.
Because I don't want to talk over people, I emote more. So I'm doing a lot more hands and facial expression just because of the shared medium.
Like, if you've been around me enough, you know that I am a hand talker anyways. I can't control it. And so this is, so it's interesting. All right, gang. We're going to go to the tower. We're going to watch, I assume, the Almighty get exploded. Unless Rasputin misses. Okay,
I hope it's a marshmallow concert.
let's play this. Let's play this out very quickly. One other direction.
What if Cade comes back?
Cade is riding the Almighty like a horse.
Stallion?
Rasputin misses. Okay, or Rasputin misses. He hits the tower, obliterates the planet. Everybody's dead, and the announcement next week is Destiny 3.
And Mitch will still be salty.
And Mitch will still be salty about it.
I'm thinking Rasputin misses and the Almighty hits the Traveler. That's what
Oh.
I'm thinking.
Mm.
And then everybody's light is gone again.
And then we develop into the darkness.
I like it.
Light.
I like it.
Save on electric bills.
It's true. I really I really would like to delve more into the darkness side of it. I think it would be a lot of fun. So
Because they
All right.
mentioned it like once in Destiny 1, and I don't think they mentioned it at all in Destiny 2.
not really, not directly. So-
I think that'd be cool.
Yep. All right, gang. We're getting out of here. Otherwise, we're going to keep doing this. So, all right. This is an episode of 154. I don't know what to call it. There's a lot of us. I'm Cap. That's Church. Hey, I pointed the right direction the first time. Church. Church.
Be kind, guys.
Earth 2 Church. Hands. Nick.
See you guys.
Jetpack.
Hey,
All right. And Hannah.
I am not evil.
yes, you are.
No, I'm not. Take it back.
There'll be no
Why do you
take-
think we don't do this in person anymore? It's because Hams kept trying to stab us.
Deservedly.
All right. Well,
In
this
your
is
mind.
all right. See you guys. Bye.
Hannah tried to stab me.
Bye.
Wait, guys.